Hello students, once again I am before you with some more geometry problems. So let us take one problem. I would like to start with the problem related to the properties of the similar triangles, as I was taking the same type of problems in the last lecture. So see this triangle, suppose this is a triangle, and in this triangle suppose it is given that this line is parallel to this line. So this triangle is suppose A, B and C, and this is D and this is E. So this is given to you that this DE line is parallel to BC. Now one more thing is given to you, the area of ADE, area of ADE equal to 90, and AD equal to given to you 3, and AB again given to you, that is 9. Is that clear? So area of ADE is 90, so you are to calculate the area of DECB. So this area has to be determined. Is that clear? Now see, these two lines are parallel, so can I say this angle would be equal to this angle and this angle will be equal to this angle, because corresponding angles are equal. So can I say that this triangle ADE, if two angles are equal, then the triangles are similar. So ADE is similar to the triangle ABC. Is that clear? Now if the triangles are similar, then the area ratio is square of sides ratio. So ratio of sides, this AD is given to you 3, and this A to B is given to you 9. Is that clear? So it means the ratio of these two corresponding sides is 3:9. And if the ratio of sides is 3:9, then can I say that the ratio of area (3 to 9) can be simplified as 1:3. And if the ratio of sides is 1:3, then the ratio of area would be 1:9. And yes, this is the square of ratio of sides. And if 1 is 90, this is given to you, then what is 9? 90 times, that is 810. Is that clear? So this 810 is the area of this complete triangle ABC, and this 90 is the area of ADE. So my area is this one. I have to calculate this area. So the required area would be 810 minus 90. Is that clear? So it would be 720. That is my answer. Some more things related to circles I would like to share with you. Please try to understand the things. This is a circle. As I told you that if this angle is theta, then this angle is half of that is theta by 2. Is that clear? If I ask from you that this is a circle and this is the diameter, if I ask how much angle this arc, this complete arc is subtending at the center, so definitely you will tell me the complete angle is 180 degree. Yes, no? So how much this complete arc will subtend at any point on the boundary this side? So definitely it should be half of that 180 degrees, so this should be 90 degree. That's why we say that the angle in semicircle is always 90 degrees. So do remember this property. This I explained also to you. Now next thing, suppose this is a circle and there is a point outside the circle. Is that clear? Now if two tangents are drawn from this external point, so please do remember that the length of these two tangents are equal. Is that clear? Next property, suppose there is a circle and there is a quadrilateral inside the circle. So this quadrilateral is known as cyclic quadrilateral because its corners lie on the circle. So it is cyclic quadrilateral. Is that clear? So suppose this is A, this angle is B, this is C and this is D. So the sum of opposite angles is always 180 degree in cyclic quadrilateral. I mean to say angle A plus angle C equal to 180 degree. moreover angle B plus angle D again equal to 180 degree. Is that clear? Now next. Suppose there is a statue. Statue name is A, and there is another statue, the name is B. This is given to you. Dimensions of B is 3 times the dimensions of A. Dimensions of B is 3 times the dimensions of A if 20 liter paint is required for A, then how much more paint is required to color on B? So this is again very important question based on the concepts of similarity. Now as it is given to you that there are two statues, statue A and statue B, and the ratio of the dimensions of A and B is 1:3, as it is given that B is 3 times. So if the ratio of dimensions is 1:3, then the ratio of area is 1:9. Why I am calculating ratio of area? Because coloring on any body or anything, that is purely related on the surface area, that is area. Is that clear? So the ratio of area is 1:9, and when the area is 1, then 20 liter oil paint is required. So when the area is 9, then how much will be required? 20 times, yes, no? So 20 times of 9, that is 180 liter oil paint will be required. But what is asked, how much more will be required in B? So here 20 liter is required, here 180 liter is required. So 160 liter more is required. That is my answer. Is that clear? So please do remember these concepts of similarity. These are very important. One more thing I would like to discuss, that congruent triangles. When we say that the triangles are congruent, congruent means Xerox, exactly same. Two triangles are congruent means everything is equal, their area, their perimeter, their angles, their shape, everything. So this angle is suppose ABC, and this angle is suppose PQR, and if sides are equal, this AB side is equal to this suppose PQ, and this AC is suppose equal to PR, and this BC is suppose equal to QR, and if sides are equal, then definitely angle has to be equal. So angle A equal to angle P, angle B equal to angle Q, and angle C equal to angle R. So when exactly same, then the triangles are congruent, and we can write this way: ABC is congruent to PQR. Is that clear? So in every respect the triangles are equal, then they are congruent. There are certain theorems related to congruent. You might have studied in your schools, right? Once again I would like to explain you those properties. First one is SSS, that is SSS congruency, means if the 3 sides of one triangle is equal to 3 sides of another triangle, then the triangles are congruent. The next one is SAS, SAS, 2 sides are equal, not proportional, equal, and the included angle is equal, then the triangle has to be congruent. So these are 2, and one more famous property is RHS, right angle hypotenuse side, means one angle is right angle, hypotenuse is equal, and any side is equal, then we say that the triangles are congruent. So these are the 3 famous properties of congruency. So please remember, triangles are congruent when they are equal in every respect. Now I can give you the proof of the property which I explained earlier, that there is a circle there is some external point, and these are the two tangents. As I told you that the tangent's length has to be equal, so this can be proved or this can be explained also. These two are radius, so can I say these two are equal? Yes, no? Now suppose I join this point from the center. Tangent is perpendicular to radius, so this angle is 90 degree. So suppose this point is A, this point is O, this point is B, and this point is C. So here I can say OA equal to OA. If I compare these two triangles, this one and this one, then this is the hypotenuse, because the side opposite to 90 degree angle is hypotenuse. So OA equal to OA. One more thing, OB equal to OC, because that is radius of circle. So this has to be equal. So and one angle, that is ABO equal to OCA equal to 90 degree. So which theorem we can apply here? RHS. One angle is 90 degree, hypotenuse is equal, one side, that is radius, is equal. So we can say that the triangles are congruent. Which two triangles are congruent? OBA is congruent to OCA. The way of writing is again important here. It means that the angle subtended at O is same as O here. Angle at B is equal to angle at C, that is 90 degree as we are observing, and at A the angle is same. So definitely it would be same. So by RHS theorem we can prove that if from any external point the tangents are drawn, then the length of the tangents are equal. Is that clear? There should not be any problem in that. Next question, you can see there is a triangle. See this triangle. This point is A. Suppose this point is B, and I draw a line this way. This point is C, then this point is D, then this point is E, and what is given in the question, let me explain. AB equal to BD equal to DE equal to AD equal to 10. This is given to you, and AF perpendicular to BE, this is also given to you. Find FD. So what is length of FD? This is my question. AB, BD, DE and AD, all these are 10. So AB is 10. Can I write here 10? Then BD, this one is 10. This complete. Then DE, that is also 10. No problem. AF is perpendicular to BE. Suppose if I draw a perpendicular from here, then this is my perpendicular AF. Fine. This is perpendicular to BE. Now what is asked? FD. This length has to be determined. I am supposing this length is X, that I need to calculate. Now tell me one thing. This is again given 10, A to D. Yes, AD is also 10, so I can write here 10. Now can I determine AF by Pythagoras theorem? Or I can say AF square. What is AF square? So perpendicular square. If I see this triangle ADF, then I can write AF square equal to AD square, that is 100, minus what? FD square, that is X square. I can write it equation number 1. I am taking another triangle, this one AB and this F. If I take this triangle, again this angle is 90 degree. So once again I can apply Pythagoras theorem. But do one thing, this side is 10 from B to D, and this one is X, so the remaining is 10 minus X. This length is 10 minus X. Are you agree with this? So can I say AF square equal to 100 minus 10 minus x whole square? There should not be any problem in writing this. This is my equation number 2. And if these two are equal, AF square, then they both can be written as equal. So 100 minus x square would be equal to 100 minus 10 minus x whole square. So this 100 can be cancelled, this negative also can be cancelled, this square also can be cancelled. So can I say x equal to 10 minus x? Yes, no. So if I transfer this x here, then 2x equal to 10, so my x equal to 5. That only I have to calculate. So I got the answer this way. I hope that is clear. Now move on. One important concept I would like to explain, that direct common tangent and transverse common tangent for circles. Direct common tangent and transverse common tangent. With the help of diagram, I would like to explain what is direct common tangent and what is transverse common tangent. Suppose these are two circles. So common tangent means the tangent which is common to both the circles. This is the tangent. Is that clear? This is one more tangent. Again, this is the tangent. And one more way to draw the tangent. Yeah, this line is also going to touch. So yes, one more line I can draw this way, right? This. So suppose this is tangent number 1, this is my another tangent number 2, and this one is tangent number 3, and this one is tangent number 4. Is that clear? So I can say T1 and T2 are direct common tangents. And T3 and T4, this one T3 and this one T4, T3 and T4 are transverse common tangent. Is that clear? No problem. Now suppose this is center of this circle. The radius of this circle is suppose R1. This is center of this circle. The radius of this circle is suppose R2. So please do remember one formula. Suppose this is center and this is center of this circle, and the distance between these two centers, I can take R2 this side, okay, don't worry. Suppose the distance between their centers is small d. Is that clear? So the length of direct common tangent, I can write simply dct. So the length of direct common tangent, I would like to show you the formula for the direct common tangent, that is square root of d square minus r1 minus r2 whole square. This is the formula for direct common tangent. Again, I would like to explain you the formula of transverse common tangent. And the formula for transverse common tangent equal to square root of d square minus r1 plus r2 whole square. So please do remember these two results. Is that clear? So d is what? Distance between their centers. Suppose this is C1 and this is C2 center, then C1 C2 equal to d. And as I already told you that R1 R2 are radius. So do remember this. One question I would like to explain related to this. Suppose there are two circles. This is one circle and this is another circle. The radius of this circle is 13, so r1 equal to 13, and the radius of another circle is 6, so r2 equal to 6. So find the length of direct common tangent and the transverse common tangent. These two questions are asked. One more thing is given to you, that the distance between their centers is 25. So D equal to 25. Is that clear? First I would like to calculate direct common tangent. So direct common tangent equal to, what is the formula? Square root of D square, that is 25 square, minus D1 minus R1 minus R2 whole square. So R1 is what? 13 minus 6, that whole square. Is that clear? So that direct common tangent equal to under root of 25 square minus 13 minus 6, 7 square. So can I say it is 25 minus 7 and 25 plus 7. So that is equal to under root of 18 multiplied by 32 equal to under root of, I can write 36 multiplied by 16. I made this half and I made double of this. This 2 I have taken this side. So that is 6 into 4. So my answer is 24. Is that clear? No problem. And if transverse common tangent is required, then the formula changes, and here instead of minus plus will come, nothing else will change. So 25 square minus 13 plus 6, 19 square. Is that clear? So finally 25 minus 19, that is 6 multiplied by 25 plus 19, that is 44. Is that clear? So square root of 6 4 25 minus 19, that is 6, and 25 35 45 44. Yes, 6 multiplied by 44, the square root of 6 multiplied by 44, 6 4 are 24, carry over 2, 264 square root is my answer. I hope that is clear. No issues? Okay. Sorry, it is plus. So 25 square, 625 plus 361, so that comes out to be 986. Is that clear? So that is my answer. Now tell me one thing. Suppose a student forgets the formula this of direct common tangent. So if he knows the concept, can he determine the answer? You see this. This is direct common tangent. Let us see whether he will be able to reach at answer or not. This is 90 degree as the tangent is perpendicular to radius. This is again 90 degree. Is that clear? And this is given to you 25, the distance between the centers. Is that clear? Now if I draw one perpendicular here from this, right, this is again 90 degree. This is how much? 6. This is how much? 13. And if this one is 13 and this one is 6, then this again would be 6 and this remaining part would be 7. And if this one is 25, then this again is 25. Now this common tangent T can be applied. We can apply Pythagoras theorem under root of, what is hypotenuse? This one. Sorry. This way. Under root of 25 square minus 7 square. The same thing I am getting here. 25 square minus 7 square. So that way we can determine this thing. I hope that is clear. Okay. Next question. There is a square. taking this point as center, a quarter circle is drawn this way, and taking this point as circle, one more quarter circle is drawn this way, which touches its boundary that way. The length of the side of this square is 20. So what is the radius of this small quarter circle? That only is my question. Very simple, right? If this one is 20, then what would be the diagonal of this square? As you might be knowing that the diagonal of a square is side into root 2. So can I say this complete length is 20 root 2? Yes, no. You can determine by Pythagoras also. This one is 20, this one is 20, and this one is 90 degree as it is square. You can apply Pythagoras theorem. So that will be 20 root 2, and this one is 20 because this is radius. So what would be the result? 20 root 2 minus 20 would be this length, which is equal to r. Is that clear? So radius of this small quarter circle is 20 root 2 minus 20. Now, next point. First of all, do remember that equal chords are equidistant from the center. Suppose these are two equal chords. So the distance from center would be always equal. Whether they are parallel or not, that doesn't matter. Suppose one chord is this, one chord is this. If they are equal in length, then the perpendicular distance from the center would be equal. So I would like to take one problem based on this concept. Suppose there is a circle and these two chords are parallel and equal given to you, and the distance between these two chords is 24, means this distance is 24. If the radius of this circle is 20, radius is 20, then what is length of chord? Chord length is to be determined. Is that clear? Now, the distance between two parallel chords is 24. It means if it is center, then this would be half, that is 12, 12. This is radius given to you, that is 20. So very simply we can determine by Pythagoras this thing. Is that clear? So that is under root of 20 square minus 12 square. So 400 minus 12 square, 144. So under root of 256. So that is equal to 16. So if this length is 16, though again this would be 16. So 16 plus 16 would be 32. So chord length would be 32. Is that clear? So please do remember this thing, that if perpendicular is drawn from center on any chord, then it divides it into two equal parts. So these are very small theorems you are knowing. One more question, very important question you see here. This is a circle. This is its center. I am making this picture this way. This angle is given to you 65 degree. This angle is given to you 70 degree. What about this angle? This only is to be determined. This is my question. Now how to solve? There are many ways of solving the question. One I am going to explain. Suppose this angle is 2x. I am taking it 2x. And I am making this construction. Right? If this one is 2x, then this should be x. As this arc is subtending 2x at the center, then x should be at the boundary. And one more thing. This is cyclic quadrilateral, and in cyclic quadrilateral the sum of opposite angles is 180 degrees. So this has to be 180 minus x, because the sum of x and this is 180 degree. Now this is the quadrilateral in which sum of all angles must be 360 degree. So can I say 65 plus 70 plus 2x plus 180 minus x equal to 360 degree? Yes, no. So that 2x minus x, that is x, equal to 360 minus 180 minus 70 minus 65. So finally what do I get? 360 minus 180, 180 minus these two, 135. So I think I am getting 45 degree. Is that clear? I am not getting the answer, I am getting x. My answer is this 2x, because what I am asked, this 2x. So what is A? Suppose this is A, this is O, and this is B. So what is angle AOB? That is my question. So this should be 2x, that is 90 degree. Is that clear? So this way we can determine the answers. Now one very beautiful question I am going to take. Again we will play with something which is very interesting. Measure of all angles of a triangle are integers, and one is 40 degree. The triangle is acute. Then how many such triangles are possible? Now look here, measure of all angles of a triangle are integer, और एक मेजर दे रखा है 40 डिग्री, और ट्रायंगल एक्यूट एंगल ट्रायंगल है. तो एक चीज़ समझ लीजिए कि सपोज करिए आपका 40 डिग्री यदि एक एंगल है, तो बाकी जो दो एंगल होंगे उनका टोटल मेरा 140 डिग्री होगा. यस नो? टोटल तीनों का 180 जो होता है. और यदि एक्यूट एंगल द ट्रायंगल है तो उसमें जो मैक्सिमम एंगल है वो 89 डिग्री तक जाएगा. 90 में ले नहीं सकता, क्योंकि 90 वाला तो राइट एंगल ट्रायंगल हो जाएगा. अब दो का टोटल 140 है, उसमें से एक 89 डिग्री है तो दूसरा मेरा 51 डिग्री बनेगा. 140 में से ये मैं माइनस करूंगा तो यस नो. अब 89 के बाद मेरा आएगा 88 डिग्री, और यदि मैं इसको 88 लेता हूं तो ये मेरा 52 डिग्री हो जाएगा. अगेन फिर मैं 87 डिग्री इसको लेता हूं, एक कम करता हूं तो यहाँ मेरा एक बढ़ के 53 डिग्री हो जाएगा. यस नो? सो दैट वे आई कैन कैलकुलेट एंड आई विल गो अप टू 69 degree and this 71 degree. Is that clear? Why I am not taking 70-70? इन दोनों का मैं 70-70 क्यों नहीं ले रहा हूं? ये मेरा डिक्रीज होता जा रहा है, राइट? और ये मेरा इंक्रीज होता जा रहा है. So how to calculate? कितने होंगे ऐसे? 68 यदि मैं लेता हूं तो ये मेरा 72 बनेगा, और वो तो मेरा ऑलरेडी हो चुका. यस नो? ये मेरा बढ़ता जा रहा था, ये 70 तो यहाँ पहले आ चुका होगा, और ये 70 कम होता जा रहा था, ये कवर हो गया. इसके बाद तो रिपीट होने लग जाएंगे केसेस. इज दैट क्लियर? सो माई आंसर इज, ये ऐसे ही काउंट कर लो ना, 51 से स्टार्ट होकर 71 तक जा रहा है, तो ये कितना आ जाएगा मेरा, कितने ऐसे ट्रायंगल्स बन जाएंगे? सो दैट इज 51 to 71 तक जा रहा है, तो 71 माइनस 50 कर लो. 51 को तो अपन इंक्लूड कर ही रहे हैं. सो देयर आर 21 सच केसेस. इज दैट क्लियर? कोई प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं? चलिए नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन में ये बोला है, इन द अबोव प्रॉब्लम if the triangle is scalene, then how many cases are possible? If the triangle is scalene, then how many triangles are possible? Is that clear? Now one angle is how much? 40 डिग्री, और स्केलिन ट्रायंगल है, मतलब तीनों एंगल अलग अलग है, तो बाकी दो का टोटल होगा तो 140. वहां तक का लॉजिक तो सेम रहेगा, उसमें तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होना चाहिए, और उसमें कोई चेंज भी नहीं है. यस नो? यदि मैं 1 डिग्री इसको ले लेता हूं सपोज करो, तो ये मेरा कितना डिग्री बनेगा? 139 डिग्री, क्योंकि दोनों का टोटल मेरा 140 आना चाहिए, और कोई कंडीशन नहीं है. स्केलिन ट्रायंगल है, मतलब तीनों एंगल अलग अलग हैं, तीनों साइड अलग अलग है. तो ये 1 डिग्री लेता हूं तो ये 139 डिग्री आएगा, और ये 2 डिग्री लेता हूं तो ये कितना आएगा? 138 डिग्री आएगा. इज दैट क्लियर? ऐसा मैं इसको बढ़ाता चला जाता हूं, तो जब मेरा ये 61 डिग्री तक आ जाएगा, 69 डिग्री सॉरी, तो ये मेरा बनेगा 71 डिग्री। इज दैट क्लियर? अब मैं इसके बाद में क्यों नहीं ले रहा हूँ ये मैं आपको एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ। क्योंकि यदि इसके बाद में मैंने बढ़ाया तो यहाँ 70 आ जाएगा, और इसको मैं कम होता जा रहा तो यहाँ 70 आ जाएगा। दो एंगल इक्वल नहीं होना चाहिए, क्योंकि स्केलिन ट्रायंगल है, तो इसके बाद में नहीं। अब 70 के भी बाद में लूँगा तो फिर वो तो रिवर्स आने लग जाएंगे, वो केसेस में ले ही चुका हूँ। इज दैट क्लियर? तो मेरे टोटल केसेस कितने आएंगे? 1 डिग्री से 69 डिग्री तक 69 केसेस आएंगे। बट दिस इज रॉन्ग आंसर, द आंसर इज नॉट 69, बिकॉज जब आप ये लिखोगे तो रास्ते में एक 40 डिग्री एंगल आएगा और यहाँ 100 डिग्री आ जाएगा। इन दो का टोटल हो गया ना 140। बट ये मैं नहीं ले सकता, क्योंकि एक एंगल 40 डिग्री ऑलरेडी गिवन है, तो ये दूसरा 40 ले लूँगा तो दो इक्वल एंगल नहीं होना चाहिए, स्केलिन ट्रायंगल है, तो एक मेरा इसमें से माइनस हो जाएंगे। सो माई केसेज आर 68। इज दैट क्लियर? सो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन। एक और कॉन्सेप्ट मैं आपके साथ शेयर करता हूँ। कॉन्सेप्ट ये है कि द साइड्स ऑफ ट्रायंगल आर इन द रेशो are in ratio 3:4:5. Find the ratio of corresponding altitudes on them. राइट? अब सबसे पहले ट्रायंगल बना लेते हैं। साइड्स का रेशो 3:4:5 है, मैं इसको 3 ले लेता हूँ, इसको 4 ले लेता हूँ, इसको 5 ले लेता हूँ। इज दैट क्लियर? चलिए, तो ये 3 वाली साइड पे जो अल्टीट्यूड आ रहा है, यानी कि ये इसको मैं H1 मान लेता हूँ, और ये जो 4 वाली साइड पे अल्टीट्यूड आ रहा है ये वाला, इसको मैं H2 मान लेता हूँ, और ये 5 वाली साइड पे जो अल्टीट्यूड आ रहा है ये मैं H3 मान लेता हूँ। इज दैट क्लियर? नाउ यदि इस ट्रायंगल का एरिया में 3 बेस लेके बात करूं तो एरिया होगा मेरा हाफ इंटू बेस 3 इंटू हाइट मेरा H1। इसी ट्रायंगल का एरिया मेरा 4 बेस लेके बात करूं तो हाफ इंटू 4 इंटू ये मेरा बनेगा H2, और इसी ट्रायंगल का एरिया 5 लेके बेस लेके बात करूं तो हाफ इंटू बेस 5 इंटू हाइट मेरा H3 हो जाएगा। तीनों ही केस में एरिया तो मैं उसी ट्रायंगल का ले रहा हूं, सो दिस शुड बी इक्वल, तो हाफ मेरा थ्रू आउट कैंसिल हो गया। तो कैन आई से कि 3H1 इक्वल टू 4H2 इक्वल टू 5H3। तो ये मेरा एक कनेक्शन आ गया, और आपको ये सिखा चुका हूँ मैं कि इफ 3A इक्वल टू 4B इक्वल टू 5C रेशो प्रोपोर्शन के लेक्चर में बता चुके हैं। तो यहाँ पर उस फंडे से H1 H2 H3 का रेशो अपन निकाल सकते हैं। वेरी सिंपल, इस 3 को हाइड करेंगे, 4 5 जा 20, इस 4 को हाइड करेंगे, 3 5 जा 15, फिर इस 5 को हाइड करेंगे, 3 4 जा 12। तो ये मेरा रेशो आ गया 20, 15 एंड 12। इज दैट क्लियर? अब नेक्स्ट टाइम यदि ऐसा कोई क्वेश्चन आता है तो आप ट्रिक याद रखिएगा, ये 3 4 5 का रेशो है, साइड का रेशो है, तो अल्टीट्यूड का रेशो ऐसे निकाल लेना है। इस 3 को हाइड करो, 4 5 जा 20, इस 4 को हाइड करो, 3 5 जा 15, और इस 5 को हाइड करो, 3 4 जा 12। इज दैट क्लियर? तो इस तरह से डायरेक्टली यू कैन डिटरमाइन द रेशो ऑफ द अल्टीट्यूड्स। इज दैट क्लियर? So guys, I explained many things, many questions to you. Please do remember them and try to utilize them as much as possible in the exams. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.